Hi everyone, my name is Ben Zadeh. I'm part of Helion professional service team, and today I would like to do a short video, an overview of focal point tool we have been working on, and we're very excited to release the beta version and let you guys look at it and test it and give us some feedback. I'm going to keep this video very short. I'm going to go over the overview of the tool and how it works quickly. So let's start. Once the user provides access to focal point, the tool will use the existing bridge, which was created in the process that seed VM creation does. There's a bridge that is created. You use that bridge and it creates a VM we call tools VM. This tools VM has a DHCP server up and running as soon as it's created. And it will broadcast a pixie boot with a light image. This is basically an Ubuntu image. This will, once it's up and running, it contacts all the ILOs using this credential that was provided, and it sets pixie as priority boot order. It will shut down, it will ask to shut down all the nodes that are in the list, and once they're shut down, it will turn them back on. Once these nodes are back on, they look for a pixie broadcast, and they pixie boot from this DHCP. They load the image that we are giving it. The image will, once it's loaded, it will set the BIOS clock time, and it does a bunch of other stuff. We collect the information about that node, that servers. This information include model number and then some other material, and I'm going to show you a sample of that. And it will transfer that to a Redis database on the seed VM. We collect that information and we create a baremetal.csv. So let's take a look how it works. So as you can see, I already have my the ILO CSV file. It has the username of the ILO and a password and the IP address. And these are usually provided by customer. Here, I already have my HOS tools. I have changed the permissions so it's executable. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so that process takes a couple minutes. Well, less than a minute. Now we have the focal point up and running. So let me go ahead and exit out of here. Type in exit, and let's look at the root folder. So as you can see, we have a folder called focal, and inside that focal, there is a file called focal point. So let's go ahead and run that, which is the same as the tool. And we're going to go ahead and set our starting IP range. These are the IP used to for DHCP. They are being broadcasted. Benefit of this tool is it also gives you ability to test your environment and make sure the IPs and IPs are correct. Make sure that there are no other pixie or DHCPs in that environment. We had scenarios that we only found out other DHCPs running in the environment after running the tool. So it's very helpful. It also allows you to check your NTP server. Now for what I normally do is I set up the NTP server on the seed host, and then I ask the seed host to contact the provided NTP server by the company to contact the NTP server and sync with that. That way, if we lose connections with the NTP server, we still have our pod, our environment is still synced. So that has been my practice, but you could enter instead of this IP address, you could enter your NTP server, which is outside the environment. Number 6 is the number of nodes you're going to have in the environment. I have currently 7. These are 7 bare metal nodes. This number is important because until it receives a message from all these 7 numbers, it will not terminate the program. So you need to make sure that you have the right number here. So once I completed that, if I click go, now what at this point, I'm basically starting the I'm asking the VM to start the DHCP server and start listening to and actually setting the ILOs to PXE as priority and turning off nodes and turning them back on. As you can see, it's starting gathering data. These are the nodes are powering on now. So if we go and look at one of our ILOs, let's pick this one. Now, one step that I forgot to tell you is that you want to make sure that you copy this ilo.csv into your focal folder. So it needs to sit over here because that's where it goes. And if it doesn't find it, it will not run. It will just wait and sit there. So if you look at one of the ILOs, let's pull up the remote console. As you can see, it is booting right now. As you can see, the PXE, the post process is a long process on the servers. So I pause the video while it's posting. So because it takes a good minute or two, if not more. As you can see, it just picked up the PXE. One thing we've done is we looked at when we're trying to select the interface for bare metal file, we look at the interface that is up and running. That logic currently is the best practice for us. Once we are adding more capabilities, we can expand the tool so we have more logics as far as what interfaces we're going to pick and what are the things that we can do. As you can see, is updating the time. And this is happening on all the nodes that I have given. They're on and they are being booted. Now, once it's done with the script and the things that we wanted to gather, it shuts off the node. So it is going to be ready for your Helion or OpenStack deployment. And if we go back here, that you can see that this number increased and we have up to 7. Now we have a full working, and if you press any key, and if we type exit, and if we go to our root, and let me clear the screen. As you can see, there is a new file called baremetal.csv, and I'm going to cut that file. There you go. So as you can see, it has generated a random password, which is very useful. It's a 16 digit password, 16 characters, and it is randomly generated so that you can, once you remove that this provided username and passwords by customers, once you remove that file, you basically have randomly generated username and passwords in your ILOs that are going to be used for Helion. Now, if you have a username Helion already in your ILOs, this will overwrite that. So you need to be cognizant of that. This is in the size of hard drives. It is calculated correctly, GIB. This is your number of cores, memory, and your IP addresses. Now for 1.1, you might want to go ahead and add roles. over here to define whether they're under cloud, over cloud, or compute, or Swift. So this is a tool. Please forward your questions to Jake or I, and we will answer your questions. And we look forward to hear your feedback and improve this tool based on those feedbacks.